From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, Fairbanks, and thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight, a Fairbanks man has been arrested in connection with a shooting that occurred last week at the Wedgwood Manor. According to police, 21-year-old Isaiah Cross was arrested this afternoon after being released from the Fairbanks Memorial Hospital.
Another suspect was arrested shortly after the incident by state troopers on unrelated charges. However, authorities are not releasing his identity due to his age. Cross is charged with robbery in the first degree as well as burglary in the first degree. Both are being held without bail and are due to be arraigned in court later this week. Police reported the other individual hospitalized due to the shooting was a victim.
People were taken to the hospital the night of this incident. Our investigation has shown one of those subjects was a suspect, one was a victim. The second suspect was taken into custody by the state troopers on unrelated charges shortly after the shooting, and he was transported to Fairbanks Youth Facility. There were 5 people inside the apartment when the 2 individuals basically broke into the apartment to commit a robbery. 2 individuals have been taken into custody. Well, one's been taken into custody and formally charged with that. The other's at FYF on unrelated charges. However, the case has been sent to the district attorney's office.
3 teens were arraigned this afternoon in Fairbanks District Court, charged in connection with an armed robbery of a Fairbanks gas station. According to court documents, 19-year-old Brandon Roberts, 18-year-old Marcus Howard, and 18-year-old Matthew Huger forced employees at the Farmers Market Sourdough gas station to the ground with semi-automatic pistols while they collected nearly $1,300 in cash, checks, and 2 bottles of alcohol. Huger allegedly waited in the car with another teen not charged in the case to provide a getaway. The teens then fled the scene where they were contacted by Fairbanks police and state troopers. Interviews with the suspects led to the admissions of planning out and conducting the robbery. Roberts and Howard were charged with felony robbery and felony theft. Huger, who provided the getaway vehicle, was charged with felony theft. All 3 are being held without bail. A hearing for the case is set for March 13th.
Facing on a Class A felony offense a possible 20 years in jail with a presumptive range of 5 to 8 years, a $250,000 fine. On the Class C felony offense, possible 5 years in jail with a presumptive range of 0 to 2, $50,000 fine. You might have to make restitution for the $1,287.92 it's alleged that you and your friends took from the Farmers Loop Sourdough gas station. So no bail.
The state has extended a contract with Fairbanks Community Mental Health Services, which will provide stability for the new organization. The Division of Behavioral Health granted a 2-year contract extension to the company, which began serving Fairbanks in September. The state's agency's original plan would have allowed competing proposals for mental health services this summer. The organization was formed last year by Anchorage Community Mental Health Services. The new contract is effective through July 2016. The regional director says the state decision is a big success.
For the clients, it's been a huge upheaval, for the staff as well. And so knowing that, we're here to stay, it will bring peace of mind that they won't have to go through a change in staff or doctors or not know if we're going to be here, come July.
Officials with the Fairbanks North Star Borough are raising concerns about Governor Sean Parnell's appointment of 2 former oil industry employees to the State Assessment Review Board. That's the board that sets the tax value of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System. An Alaska Supreme Court decision last month found the pipeline for 2006 should have been valued at nearly $10 billion, not the $850 million claimed by pipeline owners. Parnell spokeswoman Sharon Layhouse said the appointments of Bernard Washington and Dennis Mandel will bring a fresh perspective to the board. Borough attorney Renee Broker said the borough is concerned about getting a fair hearing on how the pipeline should be taxed.
The state's largest lottery has officially begun. Workers have set up a tripod for the Nenana Ice Classic 2014. The tripod was set up on Sunday on the Tanana River in Nenana for the annual guessing game. As soon as the ice begins to thaw, the tripod tips on the shifting ice and stops a clock. The Ice Classic draws in entries from across the state, paying $2.50 a guess. They are available for purchase until April 5th. Officials with the Ice Classic report they have collected over $11 million in the past 97 years of the game. Last year's Classic had a jackpot of $318,500.
Wow, so do you make your guess each
I
year?
haven't. I do, but I haven't made it this year.
You know, I haven't made one yet. I think I'm going to go for it this
Well,
year.
you can't win if you don't play.
That's right. All right. Well, when we come back, we take a look at another organization within the United Way of the Tanana Valley.
And the Iditarod began, but not without objections by an animal rights group. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
And welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. The 1,000-mile Iditarod sled dog race got underway during the weekend, with mushers and their dog teams taking off from the Anchorage area for Nome. As the race got underway, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, voiced their objections to the event. They say 23 dogs used in the Iditarod have died since 2004, and that 81% that do finish have lung damage. PETA officials say more abuse and neglect takes place off the trail, with many sled dogs living in poor conditions or being treated like defective equipment if they don't perform.
In the Iditarod, dogs are forced to run continuously for many hours on end with very little rest. Their paws become bruised and bloodied, cut by the ice. Many dogs develop pneumonia or become sick with hypothermia. And if you look at the numbers, there are about 1,500 dogs that start the Iditarod each year, but more than 1/3 of those animals wind up being flown out every year because they become sick, injured, or exhausted.
Alaskan farmers could see new opportunities thanks to changing climates, and there's a chance to learn how to reap the benefits at a local workshop. The Fairbanks Cooperative Extension will host the 10th Annual Sustainable Agricultural Conference next week. Each year, the conference attracts hundreds of people who are interested in farming or gardening on a larger scale. This year, the keynote speaker from Oregon State University will talk about plant breeding, an age-old skill which could redefine local farming.
And he'll be teaching people how to essentially cross-pollinate and possibly develop their own crop varieties that are suited for Alaska. We think this is important because nobody else is doing it. Typically, we're all buying our seeds from places in Maine or Montana. That's not Alaska, and we really need varieties that are specific for Alaska.
Unlike previous years, Wedgwood Resort will host the conference, which starts Tuesday, March 11th. To register, call Cooperative Extension at 474-2422 or log on to their website. We have placed a link at webcenter11.com.
It's time once again for another spotlight on one of the 20 agencies making up the United Way of the Tanana Valley. Tonight we focus on the Boys and Girls Club of the Tanana Valley. Here's the News Center's own Mike Schultz with more.
Boys and Girls Club of the Tanana Valley has been in existence since the mid-2000s, and their goal is to enable all young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. Sarah Nichols is the executive director for the agency and says without the assistance they get from the United Way of the Tanana Valley, their agency would be lost.
The United Way is a huge assistance to us. It goes directly to youth programming here at the club. It's unrestricted funds, so it really helps out where grants necessarily are restricted funds for a certain purpose. The United Way funds we can put directly to a basketball, we can put directly to art brushes, or whatever funds that we need to directly impact the youth.
I asked Sarah what she and her staff were most proud of for their contributions to the community.
I'm really proud of the fact that we serve the amount of kids that we do, that upstairs in the clubhouse is a full spectrum of youth from 7 years old. Right now I believe the oldest we have is 15. They come from all different backgrounds, they come from all different walks of life. They have different learning abilities, different levels, skills, and they somehow manage to coexist for 4 hours beautifully upstairs.
What is it that Sarah feels is her most specific, fulfilling, and rewarding moment?
I think to me the most rewarding moment is kind of a general, when parents come to pick their kids up, they know that they've been someplace that made an impact on them. That they, I've had a parent one time come up to me and say, I get to go home and be mom. I don't have to go home and be a teacher. I don't have to go home and look over their homework. I know that got done. I know it got completed. And I know that they got out some of their wiggles and some of their energy. And so I get to go home and make dinner and just be mom.
The United Way campaign will end at the end of this month, but there's still time for you to donate to your favorite charity. Mike Schultz.
All right, Joe, so what do we got today? Hockey, baseball, basketball, football?
Not baseball, not yet, but it's getting warmer. Baseball season will be coming around soon. But yes, our interior hockey teams, they got some huge wins over the weekend, especially the Nanoks.
Wow, okay.
Talk about them. Plus, your Iditarod leaderboard and another superb I-5 is going to be great.
Awesome.
Hey. Welcome back, Interior Alaska. It's weekend recap time. The Nanook hockey team climbed out of their midseason hole, and they've clinched a spot in the WCHA playoffs. They did by way of a sweep this weekend at the Carlson over the number 4 team in the nation, the Ferris State Bulldogs, after winning 4-1 on Friday. The Nanooks were in a tight one, tied 2-2 after 2, but the Nanooks went off for 3 goals in the third period to pull out a 5-3 win. Cody Koenig scored the equalizer in the first and had 2 helpers to lead UAF. Colton Beck added a goal and an assist. Marcus Bassar chipped in with 2 helpers as well. Beck, Brandon Morley, and Garrett Perry scored in the third to put the game away. Sean Cahill, he's won 6 in a row now as UAF's netminder. He is now 8-3-1 on the year. UAF is just hot right now, winning 8 of their last 9 and are on a 6-game winning streak. Now they have to duplicate or even raise their performance because this weekend is the Gov Cup.
We played 2 games in Anchorage, and we had a pretty good crowd there from Fairbanks, so you know how important it is to us and the community and stuff like that. So especially we're battling for home ice, not just the Gov Cup.
We started playing playoff hockey against Huntsville, and we're not going to stop until, well, hopefully the national championship. But we've been playing desperate ever since then, and we're not going to stop, and that's what we need to do. And if we do that, right now it seems like we won't be beat. So.
And the Ice Dogs continue their winning ways as well with the dominant 6-2 victory over the Coulee Region Chill on Saturday. The Dogs were all over the Chill with a 4-0 lead after the first period. The Chill got 2 goals in the second, but the Ice Dogs scored 2 in the third to keep Coulee Region on ice. Ethan Somoza and Kyle Lee both had a goal and 2 assists for 3-point nights. Patrick Munson had 23 saves and 2 shutout periods. Now Fairbanks heads to Wenatchee to face the dreaded Wild this weekend. Fairbanks has won 9 of their last 10 games, and they are on a 3-game winning streak. West Valley head coach Kamani Shotwell said the Lathrop and West Valley games this year have been a heavyweight fight. On Saturday, the Wolfpack delivered a body blow in the third meeting between the 2 teams. The Wolfpack led 31-30 at the break. Trayvon Brackett, he scored a game-high 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Cole Burner, he had 12, and Kyle Carlson, he had 13 to lead the Malamutes. But Lathrop's Terrell Ford, who had 13 points, he would hit 2 crucial free throws after this nice Hornbuckle layup to give Lathrop a 56-54 lead with 16 seconds remaining, despite the Wolfpack crowd at Lathrop. But Daniel Hornbuckle nailed the clutch 3 with 4 seconds left, and the Wolfpack escaped with a 57-56 win and the #1 seed in this weekend's MAC tournament.
We play for this. We play for tough games like this. That's what we practice with. We all have the situationals where we got to just come through in the clutch, and that's what we were able to do tonight. So, hey, great coaching staff and able to put us in the clutch like that. So
next week it's going to be the same thing, round 4, and it's going to get even tougher. It's going to get even tougher. It's going to be even more of a battle. So, you know, I'm telling you, if you're a basketball fan, you live in Fairbanks, you need to be here next Saturday for either North Pole versus West Valley or Lathrop versus West Valley. It's going to be a battle.
Here, Coach Shotwell, it's going to be a battle. And now to another battle on the mushing trails. The 42nd Iditarod had its official restart yesterday in Willow. Oh, sweet how it would be if it were started here. But after a full day of dog mushing, here are your current leaders. Former champion Martin Boozer has the early lead into the Ron checkpoint. Following Boozer is Kelly Moxner, Mike Williams Jr., and Nicholas Pettit and Paul Gebhardt. The next checkpoint is Nikolai. Lots of clutch plays in this edition of the I-5, the Interior Top 5 plays. Let's check them out. At number 5, check out Andrew Kelly's 2-hand rim rocker at the Patty Center on last Thursday against UAA. He had 14 points and a career-high 18 boards. More from this game later. At number 4, Colton Beck with the nice individual effort going top shelf on goalie CJ Mott in Alaska's 4-1 win over Ferris on Friday. At number 3, Daniel Hornbuckle's clutch 3 goes down with 4.3 seconds left as the Wolfpack beat Lathrop on Joe T. Court 57-56 on Saturday to earn the MAC #1 seed. At number 2, give it up for junior goalie Sean Cahill, or should we say Mount Cahill, as he registered a career-high 36 saves on Friday night against 4th-ranked Ferris State in a 4-1 win, which was part of the Nanook sweep of the Bulldogs. And at number 1, the shot heard round Alaska. Andrew Kelly's game-winning shot at the buzzer ends a 16-game losing streak to UAA. The Nanooks end the regular season as 3rd best in the GNAC. To select the play of the week, comment on the KTVF Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages, or email Joe Cook at KTVF11.com and make your pick. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again in the studio, not at the ice park. And we had a great day across the interior. Lots of sunshine once again. It's going to get a little cooler though, and even some snow in the weather forecast. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our photograph tonight, man, this is a beautiful one. This was sent in by Debbie Dean. Fire sky for obvious reasons. Boy, that is a gorgeous shot. And again, if you have a photograph you want to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. We'll share it with the audience. Right now at the airport, 16 degrees after a high of 21. The low last night, 11 below. Record high, 46, 1957. 1 year earlier, got down to 44 below for the overnight low. Sunrise and sunset works out to 10 hours and 29 minutes, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Once again, air quality problems. What else is new? It doesn't stop. Fairbanks is moderate. North Pole unhealthy for sensitive groups, and that's expected to last until noon tomorrow. All right, here's what's going on in the satellite and the radar. You can see a little more cloudiness starting to work its way down from the north. That's a little bit more of a frontal system coming in from the north, expected to bring with it clouds, moisture, and a little possibility of a little light snow, but nothing really heavy expected. But it will keep temperatures cool. Across the state today, here's what's going on. Over southeast Alaska, clear to partly cloudy skies. Nice weather across the Gulf of Alaska. Not too bad up and down the west coast. Sunshine around Barrow, 11 degrees, and 12 degrees above at Fort Yukon with partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather, a lot of weather to talk about. Once again, more rain falling across the Pacific Northwest. The rains have stopped after drenching Southern California over the weekend. And the weather, the wild weather they had over the weekend across the mid part of the country is moving off to the east. As you can see here on the satellite radar, the pink indicating where the frozen precipitation moving out of the Washington, D.C. area. Another band moving across the Great Lakes, and it's all being brought in from a strong jet stream. Major cold outbreak right on through Wednesday. Many records are expected to be set that haven't been seen since the 1800s with all that cold temperatures. And again, the jet stream doing some wild things, rising up over the west coast, which means high pressure building in, but then dropping way down and bringing the cold air and the snow all the way across the country into the eastern side of the lower 48. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like on our neck of the woods. Flurries in Barrow, cloudy skies for Fort Yukon, a few clouds in the Nome area. In the interior, we're looking for increasing clouds throughout the day with some snow developing at Healy, Delta, and Fairbanks. Over southeast Alaska, lots of sunshine for Juneau and Ketchikan. While over the southwest part of the state, rain showers at Cold Bay, mostly sunny skies in Bethel and Kodiak. And over the south central sections, rain and snow in Homer, light snow for Valdez and Anchorage. Okay, time for a new week with kids. And this week we're visiting with the kids from Chinook Charter School. Here's a young lady with a story for you.
It was sometime during this winter, and we had a complete blackout because of freezing rain and lots of snow. Some people lost powers for hours and days, maybe even weeks. It was a very bad thing because no one knew when they were going to get their power back. People needed to have their power to do things like heat up the house.
And tomorrow night, another young lady will be here to share a picture. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Scattered high clouds, a little colder than last night, 11 degrees below zero. Tomorrow's forecast, there's the clouds moving in. A chance of some light snow developing by evening. Again, no real accumulation expected, 16 for the high. And the extended forecast calling for cool in the first part of the 5-day period. Then after that, warming back up again, and then cooling back down again by well, the last part of it was down to 10 degrees for the daytime high. Overnight lows will also be, once again, right around the single digits to 10 degree below mark. So all in all, not too bad, and a little bit of a change in the weather pattern, but all, like for the ice park, it was great this weekend. They were packed both days, Saturday and Sunday.
I didn't get a chance to go, but hopefully I'll be able to go this weekend. Yeah.
Well, the multi-blocks will be done, and the judging will be happening Friday night.
Okay. Cool. Good. And then they'll also be lit, right? as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Very good. That's the time to go see him.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Mike. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, Russia tightens its grip on the Ukraine as Secretary of State John Kerry heads to the region. That's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webster11.com.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. See you back here again at 11. Good night.